Crutchfield is super fast. Like, I literally placed this order probably like yesterday, and this thing just came in so fast. One of the things why I love choosing Crutchfield is when you enter your car, they give you everything that you need for your car. They give you all the required brackets, wiring harnesses. I even got the wiring harness service where they actually connect all the wires for you. So here you got your speaker brackets, adapters. Oh shoot, freaking peanuts. More speaker adapters, brackets. And this is the ready harness. Looks like it came from Brett. Hey, thanks, Brett. Cool, man. This is it. This is the awesome part. I mean, they already do it for you. Like, how awesome is that? That's crazy. I don't want to mess this up. Shoot. But you can see, look at it, everything's all connected already. All crimped together, all matched. So all we have to do literally is plug and play. That's what I'm looking forward to when we install. It's amazing. And one of the reasons why I went with the setup for the RAV4, why I went with this particular head unit is, well, because, you know, I currently have an iPhone, but I do miss my Android. I was using a BlackBerry Key 1, and I think I might getting a Key 2, but I might not. But it sucks because I really love, like, the Waze app. I've been using that a lot now that I have the phone, and I don't know, we'll see what happens, but I'm still itching to get back into BlackBerry. But it's all good for now. It's all good. The iPhone does a perfect job, you know, so I'm not complaining. Let's see this. What we got here? This looks like, okay, this looks like the kit to install the double DIN here. So that's for the dash. And over here is the head unit we got. One with the Alpine ILX650W650. These nuts are dropping everywhere. These nuts, as you can see here, it's got the Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, so which is awesome. Because I was looking at a Sony one, but it only did Apple only, and I didn't like that you didn't have the option to do both. So that's why I went ahead and went with the Alpine, just because of the more durability. Got the 8-gauge amp kit. We'll go to the power subwoofer for a 12-inch Pioneer power sub, which hits pretty nice. Pretty nice. And then looks like we have vehicle integration, radio replacement interface. Excellent, interesting. So yeah, I'm not sure what that is, but pretty sure we'll figure it out. And last but not least, of course, the Infinity door speakers, Infinity reference. Got it for the front and the rear door. There's also one in the corner dash. I was really debating which ones were more important because I didn't want to replace all 6. I guess I could have while I was on it, but I just went ahead and just went with the front and rears for now, and then I can always add the corner ones later. They're easy to replace. It's 2 bolts in the front corner dash. But yeah, that's it. That's what we got. That's what we got in the box, and hopefully get to installing this in a couple minutes. Well, not a minute or another day, but brother's gonna help me out, so he's the guru. This head unit, I did do a video already on it and all the functions, but we can do a quick overview again if you want. Actually, I'll do that just to show you. So we'll start this up. And I do have the windows open, so I'm gonna close the windows so that way you can hear the sound of the sound system. Let's see what we got here. Alright, so it's completely quiet in here. And here's the head unit. This is the ILW, was it ILW 650? But yeah, so here's the layout. I have it hooked up through lightning cable through the iPhone, and it works great. One of the reasons why I upgraded this head unit was because, you know, the factory Entune thing was garbage. I couldn't sync any of my apps. I use Waze a lot for navigation, so I had a little dock up here, but now I don't use it anymore because it's all on the screen. It shows up, you know, I can hit Waze, you know, on here, and everything pops up right through here. And then you got your Spotify, you got all your music, and then your phone and everything is just all integrated. You know, the volume controls work, as you can see, with the tracks, answer call, Siri right there. All works perfect. Like, I have no complaints about it. This is also Android Auto ready as well, so you can use on Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. That's one of the reasons why I wanted the Alpine unit. Otherwise, if I knew I was sticking with Apple, I would definitely have gotten the Sony head unit that they offered. But yeah, I've been very happy with it. All right, in regards to installing the subwoofer, we did have to, you do need an aftermarket head unit to install your subwoofer. So I don't know if there's a way to do it to the factory head unit. Maybe there's a way, but I just highly recommend you definitely getting an aftermarket head unit to go with your external subwoofer, only because there are usually typically 3 connections that come from the head unit that sends a signal to a subwoofer. So basically the blue wire is a remote which sends a signal to turn a subwoofer on, and then you're going to need the RCA cables, which is left and right, and those are plugged into the back of the head unit, and they're ran back, you know, underneath and following the amp kit as well. So what I found out was the remote for this head unit, it's actually not hanging from the head unit. You actually have to tap in. So it was already wired and pre-wired in a connection, but it's a blue and white wire. Just, if you get this head unit, the Alpine, you want to find the wire that says like subwoofer remote or sub W remote, something with, you know, subwoofer, and basically that's going to be the remote. So we did a test connection, made sure it was right, and we did it, and it worked perfectly, because we, you know, by default we stuck it to another blue wire and it didn't work, and so we were like, okay, well, something's wrong here, it's not getting a signal. So that's what we did. So we found the right wire. Once we tested it, it worked, so we went ahead and got it wire nutted up, so it's nutted up. And yeah, and then so a trick to actually getting the wires through the head unit to run down, I actually had a really long extended screwdriver, Phillips head. It was like probably I want to say it's like, I don't know, maybe 2 feet long. And what I did was I used electrical tape and taped the RCA cables and the blue wires, tape them together, and then stick it right down through here, and basically it allows you to fish your wires through, and you can reach through the bottom there and get the wires connected and plugged up. So that's how we did it, and it just worked that easy for us. You know, instead of trying to push the wires up through, you know, it was easier to tape the wires to the end of the Phillips head and push it straight down. And that's how we got that wired up. This is going to be the let's talk about the subwoofer setup. So we actually ran the power wire through behind here. There's a grommet behind the shock tower here. It's hard to see, but you can do it without having to pull all this stuff apart. I definitely recommend having a person help you. But basically, my friend Eric, he was able to get it through the grommet. Like I said, it's hard to see, because if you shine a light through, you can see it going through the back there. But we were able to push it out, and we had to use, if you have some kind of long extended clamp to get back in that corner, you know, we were able to grab that wire and pull it out. And then as you can see, we ran it over here behind this plastic piece. This pops right off underneath and up to there. And then that's how the amp is wired, and it goes through the firewall, comes out, all the paneling down here comes off, and all of these pop off super easy right here down here. So we were able to pop these off and run the wires straight back. This pops off all the way back to here. As you can see, this is where all the wiring is. Like I said, it's not the cleanest. I still got to put some zip ties and kind of clean it up, but that's how it sits, and it's got some leeway, and it doesn't take a lot of room. So, and here's the subwoofer here. This is the Pioneer, the 12-inch powered sub, and I just have it held on with this bungee cord, so it doesn't go anywhere. So it's pretty steady. It doesn't go anywhere. But super happy with it. Yeah, no complaints there. So that's how the subwoofer is wired. All right, next we're going to talk about the corner dash speakers. These pop off pretty easily. As you can see real quick what I did the video, you do have to wire these. This is the factory speaker. It's so light and flimsy, like it's ridiculous. So touching this and then grabbing something like this, it's got so much, I mean, you can feel the quality in the speaker, and like it's crazy. Such a big difference. For the dash corners, we have the 3.5 infinity reference speaker. Now with this doesn't come with a harness plug and play, so we'll basically have to cut these, combine them together, and then connect them onto the speaker itself. Come in handy a lot actually when it comes to like wiring and stuff, so highly recommend having one of these in your arsenal. This one has been treating me pretty good, especially with this design here. It just easily strips the end wires and makes it pretty simple. So female connectors, you can connect them on there, or you can use hot glue, or you can, you know, whichever method you're comfortable with connecting to the speaker wire. But that's about it. From what I was told from Crutchfield, that the two colors, the two lighter colors on the right side are negative, and then two on the left are positive. So when you do cut these, combine the colors and then connect them to the speaker. And then and make sure you test them before you bolt it in. So that's what I did. So yeah. But the ones for the doors are here, and the front and rear doors, they come with the wire harness, and they're just strictly plug and play. And removing the door is super easy. It's literally this right here pops off, this piece pops off, and then there's this piece right here. So these three pieces pop out. There's a screw behind here, and then there's, I believe, 2 screws right here that kind of deep in. And once you undo those 3 screws, this piece lift up from the bottom, it'll lift up and it'll come out, and this part comes off too. And also I do recommend you will have to buy self-tapping screws, because I wasn't able to reuse any of the screws that they gave me with the kit from Crutchfield. I basically had to use self-tappers, and you do have to use the factory speakers are held on with rivets, and I was using a drill, but I broke a couple bits off. So what I found the best method that worked for me was actually having a nice stout like flathead screwdriver, and taking a hammer and then just putting it right behind the rivet head and then hammering it out. So it does, but it worked a lot easier for me. I was able to remove the rivets a lot quicker, you know, and without having to worry about breaking anything. So that's the method I use for that. Overall, everything is pretty simple. So I'm gonna fire up the sound system so you guys hear how it is. So let me find a song here that I could play. Yeah.
Close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go.
So yeah, I just wanted to show you the volume settings that I had on. That's the way I have my EQ set up. Usually I don't care about mids much. I like to have really good bass. My treble's always maxed out because I like to get that clarity, you know, of the highs. I'm not too crazy about mids, but I really like the deep lows. But yeah, so that's just what the setup was, and that's how it sounds. So I definitely recommend a setup if you have, you know, for the RAV4 specifically, because you know it needs an aftermarket head unit without that CarPlay. But yeah, it's just a great upgrade. The Infinity reference speakers are just such a quick and easy upgrade, you know, for the sound, and it's just a night and day difference. I mean, the materials alone, when you touch it, you can feel the weight difference, and it comes through in the sound too. So major props to Infinity, major props to Crutchfield. They included everything you need, so I highly recommend going to crutchfield.com for anything audio related. So just their customer service is great, and they have just a great resource for any of that stuff, so highly recommend it. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and take care.
See the horizon, turn us to thousands.